Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Michael Gibson.
And I'm Elizabeth Fry. Coming up, the latest changes in the presidential race.
And we'll take a closer look at EU TV.
Brian's here with your forecast, and Brock has the latest with your sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
We begin this morning with Brian, who's here with an update on our current conditions. Brian, we've survived earthquakes, warm temperatures. It's been quite the summer.
It has, and it's really great to be back here in the Newswatch studio. I'm very excited to be back along with you guys. Let's start off with some current conditions. Right now, it is 77 degrees outside, and the humidity is at 77%. It's all about the sevens this morning. We've got a south wind of 12 miles an hour and clear visibility of 10 miles, but we do have some rain in store, but we'll have that coming up later in a little bit.
Man, lots of rain. Hopefully it'll cool things down.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope. We'll move into some fall temperatures.
Hopefully fall is on the way. I'm excited for that.
Those are the hopes.
Well, thanks, Brian. We'll hear your full forecast a little bit later on. The Oklahoma Corporation Commission is telling operators to shut down 35 disposal wells that may have played a role in a 5.6 magnitude earthquake. Disposal wells are used to dispose of toxic wastewater by injecting it deep into the earth. Experts believe that the pressure from the wells are responsible for many earthquakes, including the one that shook at least 6 states Saturday morning. A total of 11 earthquakes were reported in the Oklahoma area this weekend, but no one has been seriously injured.
Republican vice presidential candidate and governor of Ohio, Mike Pence, visited Springfield while on the campaign trail Wednesday. And with only a couple of months left before Election Day, Pence focused on the issues centering his and Donald Trump's campaign, like the controversies surrounding Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and connections to the Clinton Foundation, as well as the need to support the American police, as well as the construction of a barrier between the United States and Mexico. Trump and Clinton have pulled neck and neck in Missouri, with Trump currently holding a slight lead.
And lots of attention surrounding the Hillary Clinton campaign as she makes her way around the country, including right here in the Ozarks. Here's more from the campaign trail.
She's relying on help from other big names, including her daughter Chelsea, campaigning for the first time since giving birth to her second child.
I am deeply and unapologetically biased towards my mom.
She's holding 2 events in Pennsylvania despite her mom's lead in the polls there. It's a must-win for Trump to get to the White House, or as the Clinton campaign sees it, a must-lose.
Even if I weren't a mom, this would be the most important presidential election of my lifetime. Because everything that I care most about, I worry is at risk.
That as Clinton gets a surprise boost from the heart of reliably red Texas, with the Dallas Morning News editorial board endorsing a Democrat for the first time in 75 years. Resume versus resume, judgment versus judgment, this election is no contest, writes the board, criticizing Clinton over her lack of honesty, her email controversy, and concerns about the Clinton Foundation, but still concluding Clinton has made mistakes and displayed bad judgment, but her errors are plainly in a different universe than her opponents. And in Arizona, where a Democrat hasn't won since Bill Clinton was victorious in 1996, a new poll shows Clinton and Trump neck and neck, though nearly a quarter of voters there say they're not sure who they'll vote for.
Already an intense election so far, Liz.
So far, and it is not even here yet, but it is heating up, Michael.
That's right. Coming up, we'll hear more about Zika.
We'll be right back.
Catch all the HD broadcasts of Evangel Sports on EU TV through livestream.com. EU TV features weekly programs like Sports Update and Newswatch Today. You can also see award-winning student films from Evangel filmmakers. Evangel University Television broadcasts to Evangel dorms on channels 12 and 35-1. You can also find EU TV on Mediacom Channel 84 in Springfield. And now, EU TV is on livestream.com. Broadcasting on the web 24 hours a day. So check it out. Go to livestream.com, enter EU TV in the search box, and click on the EU icon. EU TV, the home of edutainment.
A $1.1 billion funding bill aimed at combating the Zika virus failed to get past the Senate on Tuesday. Democrats unanimously voted against ending debate on the issue, causing the bill to fall short of the 60 votes needed. They claim Republicans doomed the bill by adding provisions such as blocking funding for Planned Parenthood and allowing the Confederate flag to fly at veteran cemeteries. This is the third time the Zika funding bill has failed in Senate. And now we have Michael standing by with a special guest to fill us in on all the latest happenings here at EUTV. Michael.
Thanks, Liz. I'm here with Josh Kingham, who's going to give us a special behind-the-scenes look at a subject that's pretty close to home, Josh, right here at EUTV. So, lots of exciting things happening this semester. Can you give me a snapshot of what that looks like?
Yes, so at EUTV, we are rebranding the station. Every 2 years, we go through a process where we just change up the logo, give it a fresh new feel, and really, we want to emphasize this time that it's student-run. We do it all in-house. And we're promoting our EU films on the channel as always. We're having this program and sports update every week, and we have a couple of sports broadcasts in the works. We're doing, I think, 4 more football games, a volleyball game, and possibly a soccer game this semester.
That's right, so much happening with EUTV, and I know right here on Newswatch we're making some changes, doing some graphical changes, and also a sports update. And you also have, there's a lot that happens in this department, including several workshops where students are involved.
Yes. We have TV workshop. Where students can have hands-on experience running everything behind the scenes, and like yourself, be anchors up on either show. And we also have volunteers that come in and help us out as well. It's a great way to get experience, like your first semester here. You're working on a news station already. It looks really great on a resume.
That's right, and I can honestly say, if you haven't auditioned, you have to audition for EUTV coming up for the next semesters. But also a very important aspect of the communications department here at Evangel is EU Films, and a very special event having to do with Skylar, which is our film from last year. It's
yes. So next week we are having our EUTV, or the Best of EU Films week on EUTV, which will be started off on Sunday with an all-day Skylar marathon. Skylar was, of course, the movie from this past spring. It has not been seen other than on premiere night last year. So we made a few little tweaks and changes to it. We're gonna be airing it all day Sunday and throughout the week next week, along with the other Best of EU Films.
Now I want to talk about you for just a second, because Josh Kingham, if you don't know Josh, he does a lot here for EUTV and also EU Films. What was your role on Skylar?
I actually didn't have a role on Skylar last semester. I just volunteered on it and helped out and discussed some ideas with people, but I didn't have an official role in it.
Okay, but he's always helping in something. And what are some other films that will be showcased?
Some other films that we're going to be showcasing are last fall's film, like Electrolyte. We're going to have a couple short films and documentaries that students have made this past year and the year preceding.
Now let's talk about something that everybody wants to know, which is the EU film coming up next semester. And I know you guys are still in the creative process, but I know you plan many months and many, many days, long hours planning for these films. Can you give us a sneak peek about what that might look like?
The name of the film is called Veins of Gold. It'll be a treasure hunt movie that follows a story of a guy and the girl whose families have clashed in the past, and they have to decide whether or not to let history repeat itself or to move on and hunt for the treasure together.
Wow, but no word yet on actors.
Not yet. We are still in the process of auditioning and doing callbacks and read-throughs, but within the next couple weeks we shoot 2 weekends from now.
Wow, that's exciting. And let's go back to you for another point. Is we have to talk about all of your jobs that you do here on EUTV, because I know you're heavily involved here on Newswatch, but also in the films. And tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, here I do EUTV station manager.
Right.
So I just make sure all the shows go like they're supposed to. Have a great staff, so I don't have to do too much. Oversee. Just do the programming for the week and come up with any promotional materials that that will be airing on the show, as well as helping out with the workshop students, making sure everything runs smoothly with them. And then on the film, I'm the DP, Director of Photography, so I just work with the director on making the camera shots look pretty and color grading and a couple little behind-the-scenes things like that.
There you go. He's so humble. You said that you did, but you have a huge role coming up on this next film. And are you excited for the? Because is this the first film that you're officially involved in?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited. I've done a couple short films, and Passion Project was my first feature film.
Wow. Well, we're excited to see all the things that Josh Kingham has going on, and we're very excited for everyone here at Evangel to see all the exciting things that's happening right here on EUTV. Back to you, Liz.
Thanks, Michael. I don't know about you, Brian, but I am so excited for everything that's happening this year at EUTV and just all the changes, and I'm really excited about it and getting to be a part of that.
It's really cool to hear about the rebranding. You know, we want to make sure that people know that EUTV is all student run. It's all students in the back room. It's all students up here doing the camera work and anchoring as well. So it's really cool. It's a great opportunity.
It's pretty impressive what everyone together is able to pull off.
Absolutely. Coming up, I'll have your full weather forecast, and we'll see what the weekend has in store for us. We'll be right back.
Campus where students encounter a living Christ.
Guys, we're living the best years of our lives at Evangel University. This year's gonna be the best one yet.
With summer coming to a close and fall right around the corner, coffee drinkers are rejoicing, as that means the favorite festive drink has returned. On September 6th, Starbucks brought back the classic pumpkin spice latte, ringing in the autumn season. With over 40% of your daily amount of saturated fat in a 16-ounce serving, this drink is sure to keep you warm for any cool temperatures fall may bring. Michael, are you as excited as I am for this pumpkin spice latte?
You know, it's not fall until the pumpkin spice latte comes out from Starbucks. You know how McDonald's serves breakfast at 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, that's when breakfast time is. And when Starbucks releases the pumpkin spice latte, that's when fall officially begins.
I believe actually that Brian called me basic last year for liking the pumpkin spice latte.
That's
so
right.
I guess that makes you basic too.
I guess so.
And now we have Brian standing by to let us know if summer weather is officially on its way out. Brian?
I can neither confirm nor deny I said something like that, but I'm very glad to be back here doing the weather here on Newswatch. Let's take a look at the current conditions so we can see what it looks like outside. Very fair, 77 degrees, humidity at 77%, as I said earlier, all about the sevens. Heat index at 79. And a south wind of 12 miles an hour. Now let's take a look at the radar. We do have a lot of scattered clouds and possibility for some thunderstorms in our area. As you can see, it's making its way down south, and it's going to come through our area. And it's coupled with a couple of low pressure systems, and that of course is what is bringing in those thunderstorms as well. And as you can see as well, there are a couple of high pressure systems around Georgia and Nevada, so those areas will be experiencing some sun and clear skies. And for today, we do have a good chance of a thunderstorm, around 50-60% chance of a thunderstorm. The winds will be southwest 9 miles an hour. Humidity will stay roughly around 80%. And tonight, the chance for a thunderstorm will go down just a little bit, but it's probably going to last overnight just a little bit. Low of 72, so the temperature's not going to drop down too much, and we will have a southeast wind of 7 to 9 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the 6-day forecast. And unfortunately, the thunderstorm is going to last probably until tomorrow, and then once the low pressure system has moved through our area, we'll see wonderful temperatures over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, going into Monday. Temperatures around 75, 77, even 83. And then there's a slight chance of a thunderstorm on Tuesday, but if the thunderstorm does not come through our area on Tuesday, it will be mostly sunny, high of 83. That's all I have on Weather Watch. Back to you.
Thanks, Brian. You know, Michael, it still looks like it's your shorts and sandals weather.
Oh, absolutely. 55 and above.
That's his rule.
That's right. I'm wearing sandals, 55 and above. Coming up next, the Giant Pandas comeback.
And Brock will be here with the rest of your latest sports news. We'll be right back.
We are all born with greatness hidden away inside of us. We have gifts, passions, and purpose waiting to be discovered. When nurtured well, there comes a time when who you are meant to be becomes who you are. And who you are can change the world. Evangel University, the greater you.
Finally, some good news for the giant panda, as international conservation groups are officially taking them off the endangered species list and are now saying that China's efforts to bring them back from the brink of extinction are working. The animal is now listed as vulnerable, but the group warns that climate change is still a major threat to the panda's bamboo habitat. Experts predict climate change will eliminate more than 35% of the panda's bamboo habitat over the next 80 years.
Well, we're only a couple of months away from Election Day, and both campaigns are facing trouble. Donald Trump's advisors are still struggling to explain his immigration plan, giving little clarification on their nominees' conflicting statements. And new criticism arises following Trump's visit to Detroit this past weekend. After reaching out to African American voters at a predominantly black church, critics question the sincerity of Trump's visit. On the Democrat side, Hillary Clinton is losing grounds in the latest national polls, following the public release of the FBI's report on her use of a private email server as Secretary of State. Both candidates will go head-to-head in the first presidential debate on September 27th. You know, Michael, last night was a national security town hall, and both candidates had a really big night.
Rough night.
Yeah,
it was a really
did.
rough night. You know, with Hillary Clinton getting blasted with questions about her email controversy.
13 minutes.
13 minutes of questions. That's more than she's ever been asked in any previous interviews. So it was quite the intense night.
It really was. They have a long road ahead of them.
That's right. But some exciting news. Brock Wilson, who of course is our anchor on Sports Update, is joining us here on Newswatch and is here to give us our sports update right here on Newswatch. Brock?
Hey, thanks, Michael. Well, the football team, along with new head coach Chuck Hepola, kicked off its 40th season in program history 2 weeks ago with a 35-3 loss to Benedictine College, but they had a quick chance to turn that loss around last Saturday when they took on Peru State. The offensive woes continued for the Crusaders, and they were only able to put just 10 points on the board, while the Bobcats pegged 42 points on the defense, giving the Crusaders their second straight loss. Evangel returns to Tiger Stadium this Saturday to take on Grandview at 1:30. They are still looking for that all-important first win of the season. Now, although the football team is playing its home games at Tiger Stadium in Ozark, the turf has been laid, and both the football and soccer teams are practicing on the new football field on campus here at Evangel. Construction is continuing for the field to install grandstands and other amenities, but the field will be ready to play in a couple of weeks. For more information on how to donate to the Momentum Campaign, please visit the Momentum Campaign page on the Evangel Athletics website. Some brighter news in Evangel sports: the volleyball team, who hasn't had the best start if you compare it to their last season 24-0 start, they are looking at just a 5-4 record before last night when they looked to turn their tide as they took on the 6-4 College of the Ozarks. Their first home game at the Ashcroft, they jumped out to a 2-1 lead, and they had an opportunity to finish off C of O in the fourth set, but lost a tough one, 25-23. They then dropped the fifth set tiebreaker, 15-8, and the Crusaders then dropped to 5-5 on the season. But they begin action in the Crusader Classic starting Friday at 5 p.m. against St. Mary. On to some more international news. The 2016 Paralympics kicked off last night in Rio amidst just as much controversy as the Olympic Games did. The Paralympics, which feature 4,300 athletes from 161 nations, are struggling mostly due to a lack of financing. The Games will face scaled-back venues, seating, and staffing, and according to the Associated Press, a last-minute Brazilian government bailout helped the event from falling short of its privately funded operating budget. On to some baseball. The Los Angeles Angels pitcher Matt Schumacher was sent to the hospital last Sunday after being struck in the head with a line drive off the bat of Mariners infielder Kyle Seager and is likely to be out for the season. Schumacher underwent surgery after being diagnosed with a small skull fracture and hematoma. This is per Pedro Mora of the LA Times. Los Angeles still has pieces in its starting rotation, including Jared Weaver, Tyler Skaggs, and Ricky Nolasco, who can shoulder more of the load and attempt to save the bullpen innings while Schumacher is out. On to some of the biggest and most controversial news in sports. Once calling it quits on his football career, former quarterback turned sports broadcaster Tim Tebow has decided to try his hands at baseball, which I'm sure you all know as a sport that he has not played since his junior year in high school, almost 10 years ago. Although most people in the sports world have written off any chance of Tebow playing Major League Baseball, myself included, 28 pro scouts have looked at Tebow. The Braves general manager, the Mets general manager, Sandy Alderson, was asked about a month ago about whether or not he would consider signing Tebow to a minor league contract. He did not reply positively. However, as of this morning, Tebow has officially signed a minor league contract with, you guessed it, the New York Mets. Tebow's first baseball action will be with single-A affiliate Port St. Lucie, and the Fall Instructional League in Port St. Lucie, Florida. That's all from from Sports Watch. Back to you guys.
Brock, I thought Tim Tebow was a football player.
Yeah, Tim Tebow is a football player. Now, he's been sportscasting with SEC Network ever since his release from the New York Jets. But as I stated before, I am not in company alone when I say that Tim Tebow, not the best baseball player.
Well, we'll sure have to see how his season turns out, Liz. Thanks, Brock. And when we return, we'll get another look at Brian's forecast.
And we'll get the latest on gas prices across the states. We'll be right back.
The world is waiting for you to make an impact in the career field God has called you to. He has equipped you with the creativity, skills, and talents you need to be successful. And at Evangel, you'll be empowered with a dynamic education and a spirit-led community that will help turn His design into your life's calling for global ministry in every vocation. Unleash your potential. Visit us today.
Good news for anyone wanting to take a road trip soon, because prices for gasoline are at its lowest level since 2004. The national average per gallon is $2.21 as of today. That's 20 cents cheaper than this time last year. The summer of low gas prices has meant big savings for drivers, almost $19 billion compared to last summer. The average U.S. household is expected to pocket an extra $320 in savings this year, thanks to plunging gas prices, you guys. And it is time for us to take a Newswatch road trip.
I think it is.
I would absolutely love that.
Where would we go? Somewhere
Lake
warm.
of the Ozarks.
That's right.
Okay.
Lake of the Ozarks.
The most adventurous place I could think of.
There was piranhas once, like 10 years ago.
In the Lake of the Ozarks?
What?
It's true. So it really is an adventure.
So the 6-day forecast. Coming up this weekend, we'll have some beautiful weather starting on Saturday, high of 75, 77, and 83. On Tuesday, we'll have a slight chance of a thunderstorm, roughly around 83 degrees that day, and then just look out for the thunderstorms Thursday and today and Friday as well. Other than that, you should have a good weekend.
That's right, still shorts and sandals weather.
It looks like a beautiful day on Saturday for that football game. 75
Absolutely.
and sunny, perfect weather.
Get out and support your Crusaders.
That's right. All right, thanks, Brian. And thank you so much for tuning into EUTV. I'm Michael Gibson.
I'm Elizabeth Fry.
And I'm Brian Ebrecht. Join us next week.